Whistleblower finally showed UFO evidence previously hidden from us. The idea about UFOs and aliens has been often dismissed as conspiracies and little to no attention given to actually finding out if there's any truth to the alarm being raised by many whistleblowers today. And as a result, many who agree with these reports of sightings have accused governments and some powerful people of cover-ups. But recently, an awful amount of attention has been drawn to the fact that we might not really be alone in the universe. To begin with, the US Congress just held a hearing not long ago where some former government officials gave some testimonies under oath, while pointing accusing fingers at the government agencies for covering them up. The lack of evidence to back the claims of the existence of aliens has been the greatest obstacle that the promotion of the idea has faced. In a shocking turn of events, one of the prominent proponents of the existence of aliens, Stephen Greer, just came forward with some claims that move to prove that, in fact, we're not alone in the universe. And he actually dropped some tips on how to get in contact with these beings. The discovery of ancient artifacts and drawings has shown that the idea of aliens isn't something that just started in this era. There have been instances of different cultures that left evidence that points to that. For long, there have been debates on whether the ancient Egyptians have had contact with extraterrestrial life forms. The ancient Egyptians had a complex mythology that included gods and goddesses who were said to have come from the sky. Furthermore, archaeologists have uncovered certain drawings that depict some really weird-looking creatures that have no roots on anything likely to have existed on Earth. Ancient Egypt is rooted in polytheism, and some representation of these gods have sparked the idea that they might have been in contact with some extraterrestrials. And some of the achievements of the ancient Egyptians, like the Great Pyramids, still puzzle researchers to this day. No one seems to understand how they were built with the supposed crude equipment that they had then. So, could the ancient Egyptians have had some help? Some scholars believe that these gods may have been aliens, or at least that the Egyptians believed they were aliens. For instance, the god Ra was said to be the sun god, and he was often depicted in the drawings that archaeologists have uncovered as a man with the head of a falcon. This has led some to believe that the Egyptians may have seen a spaceship or an alien with a helmet and mistook it for a god. We can never be certain about this at the moment, and many seem to agree that there's something really crucial that we're missing about the ancient civilization. The ancient Mesopotamians are also said to have come in contact with aliens, who they themselves see as gods. They had a complex mythology that included gods and goddesses who were said to have come from the sky as well. One of the most famous examples is the Anunnaki, a group of gods who were said to have helped shape modern-day society. Some scholars, like Zecharia Sitchin, who wrote a book called The 12th Planet, believed that the Anunnaki may have been aliens. This is based on the fact that the Anunnaki were said to have advanced technologies such as flying machines and had come from another planet called Nibiru. These are the very few instances that we have of the idea of some beings existing outside our planet, and various cultures have different depictions of these beings. Fast forward to recent times, movies have played a great role in shaping our ideas of these beings as little green beings and flying saucers. The ideas of aliens in modern times are largely shaped by science fiction and pop culture. In the early 20th century, the idea of aliens was often associated with fear and hostility. This, many claim, was due to the First World War and the Cold War, which led to a sense of paranoia and distrust. However, in the latter half of the 20th century, the idea of aliens began to be more associated with hope and curiosity. The space race, which led to a greater understanding of the universe and the possibility of extraterrestrial life, is a great contributor to this. Today, there are many different ideas about what aliens might be like. Some people believe that they are humanoids, similar to humans, but with different physical features. Others believe that they are completely alien, with no resemblance to humans at all. Still, others believe that aliens are not physical beings at all, but rather forms of energy or consciousness. And it seems that the idea of aliens as hostile beings still has huge remnants in the culture. Though the launch of the JWST has fueled that other curiosity that's seeking to replace the fear of aliens. So far, there's no specific evidence to support any of these claims, but that doesn't stop people from speculating. The idea of aliens has been and will continue to be a fascinating one, and it continues to capture the imagination of people all over the world, with more moves being made to not just support the claim, but find actual evidence that will back them. Stephen Greer came forward with some mind-blowing theories that he claims will put one in direct contact with these beings, something that he claims he has already used to contact these beings. And from what he says, he seems to be among the school of thought that sees aliens as some kind of energy that can be felt. Contrary to popular belief, Greer believes that aliens are very much benevolent beings that desire to help humans become better, and that they have been in contact with humans for longer than we can imagine, but they don't desire to interfere in our affairs. This idea is in line with most popular ideas on the concept of gods. They are often described as supreme beings that oversee the affairs of man. And while some believe that these beings control the affairs of man, others believed that the gods were too uninterested in the affairs of man. Democritus was a Greek philosopher that lived around the 5th century BC, and he's a believer that man is solely responsible for his fate. There's this popular quote from Democritus that says, "The gods do not concern themselves with human affairs, but live happily among themselves, free from all pain and trouble." Greer also postulates that the government is trying to shape the narrative by portraying a certain image of aliens as they exploit alien technology for their own belief. They make moves to present them as very hostile beings. This way, they can be able to justify taking a war on these beings. But so far, even in the recent Congress hearing on UFOs and other related matters, the Pentagon denied having any knowledge of aliens, or being in possession of alien technology for that matter. Greer doesn't just support the claims about aliens. He proposes a method to get in contact with them and says that he has done so severally himself. This technique is what he calls CE5. CE5 is short for Close Encounter of the Fifth Kind, and this is a meditative method that Greer says allows anyone to communicate with these aliens in a peaceful way. This proposes a form of consciousness that is shared between all the beings in the universe. All you have to do is find a way to make yourself receptive enough to feel them. The process involves finding a small, like-minded community and picking a spot that's way outside the distractions and noise of the modern world. A deserted area that will take you away from all the electronic waves that can interfere and bring you closer to nature. Form a circle with the other people you have chosen, while you place an electronic device in the middle. Then, while in a meditative pose, clear your mind of any distractions while opening it up to being receptive without holding back. Then, imagine yourself in relation to the universe while you invite any beings that wants to get in contact with you. And according to him, it's important that you remain humble in your approach when you finally feel or see something that shows their presence. Then, the session can be closed by thanking them and holding hands. Aside from the testimony from Greer, there's been no other evidence on this, and hopefully, with time, we'll be able to uncover what is really true and what's not about all these claims. humans continue their search to find something that could help them understand the universe. And until that's found, we're bound to have some of these theories coming up as a means to satisfy curiosity. That's all for this video, and we'll see you in the next one.